This is Man's Higher Consciousness talking about economic freedom in relation to your needs and wants. And I'm going to read this because it makes perfect sense. And I think it's something that nobody really thinks about. They hold off on, they've had a hard time fasting for whatever reason, or they don't want to just jump right into it. Also, maybe it's a good idea to clean up for a while before jumping right into fasting, because it can cause binging. It can cause intensity that makes you not want to return to a fast, and you don't want that. If you're going to be healthy, truly, purely healthy, you need a fasted lifestyle. And I would argue the closer you come to being fasted all the time, the better off you are. Absolutely, without a doubt, 1000%. But I'm going to read this because it makes sense. It is interesting and important to note that as man moves back toward primal perfection, his wants decline and his economic burdens decrease. It's getting kind of... Okay. We thus learn what these burdens are and where they came from. See, I changed the words kind of what I'm reading. Here it says whence they came. You can see how old this writing is, but it still holds true for sure, from where they came from. We see them as the product of man. So let me start that over. It's interesting and important to note that as man moves back toward primal perfection, his wants decline and his economic burdens decrease. We thus learn that these burdens are and where they came. What the burdens are and from where they came. We see them as the product of man's created wants and unnatural desires. So these burdens, these economic burdens, are because of your wants. The product of man's created wants and unnatural desires. Most of it is unnatural desires, which perfect man did not have. Man has produced them, and he can destroy them. These so-called needs that you think you have. It was not until man began to form habits and adopt practices which created wants that he began to decline and degenerate. He was deceived then, as he is now, by the illusion of progress as he developed new habits that increased his wants. He considered then, as he does now, that each new invention was a mark of progress, while he and the doctors were puzzled by the fact that his health continued to decline and his lifespan to decrease. Economic freedom is the first step back toward man's highest state of primal perfection. Every animal in its native state has economic freedom. Man is the only dumb economic slave on earth. He has made himself such by his unnatural, retarded wants and acquired desires. In complete freedom from every want, to be dependent upon nothing, man's mind and senses are under control. He is released from the consequences of action, which are bonds and chains, binding down those who are the slaves of want and desire. We make ourselves slaves, not only with our minds, with our cowardice, with our fear, but with our choices and with our chosen lifestyles. You see, some of these lifestyles can be had without the dumbass work you're doing right now. Just to let you know, I help people with this, actually. This is what comes from food freedom, from the freedom of addiction to food, and if you choose, even water, and if you choose even sleep, which I'm still working on. I do about 2 to 3 days awake, and I sleep about 1 or 2 hours in between is the usual deal. It's kind of been the running average. But I feel that I'm making it natural. I'm not trying to be ridiculous, but I feel that I'm coming close to not even needing sleep anymore. But let's just stick to the food thing. If you come to me and say I recommend something like, not with anybody, because not with just anybody, what I'm about to say, we use Purium as a tool to help people clear themselves out before they start going into any deep fasting, before you start having bad memories and painful experiences or very discomfortable experiences because you're detoxing hard. It's not dangerous ever. Fasting's not dangerous, but it sure is easier to do when your body's cleaned up. And to me, that's the first step, is cleaning it up. And that's why I picked this stuff, this Purium. And I'm actually thankful that they crafted it the way they did, because a lot of companies out there include some really shitty stuff, really stupid ingredients. And these guys make some really good stuff that you can clean up with. So what I'm saying is you're talking about not having money, but you have enough money for your phone, you have enough money for your entertainment, you have enough money to eat all the food it took to fuck your body up, and whatever else you waste your money on, but you don't have enough to help yourself out and kickstart this thing. Why not? Well, it's because it's your choice. And that's fine. I'm not saying you have to do it this way. You could just start fasting right now. That's what I did. So there's many ways. It just depends on how you think it's going to work for you. If you happen to be around other people and you still kind of give a shit what they think, then this Purium step is actually the way to go, for sure. Because I don't care who they are. If they're not into the fasted lifestyle, they are going to provide a negative energy when it comes to you cleaning up and leveling up. But if you use something like Purium to start with, it's going to help you get on a good solid footing mentally, physically, spiritually, and even economically as you go. And then you can move forward with the fasting. And then you'll probably not give a shit as much about what people think, because you'll be so amazed by how awesome you're becoming that you won't really care, because it's priceless. You'll realize it's priceless where you're going and what you're gaining. So I hope this helps, guys. Man's Higher Consciousness, definitely recommended. Written in the 1950s, 1959. Reprinted 1962. And this particular book is made by, what are they called? Kissinger Publishing. This is a really Kissinger Legacy reprints. I highly recommend this version. It's very cleanly put together. Some of the other ones are sloppy. This one's a good one. There might be others, but anyways, there you go, guys. Hope that helps. Take care.